The movie begins with the headquarters of the League of Assassins, where the assassins are being trained under the supervision of Ra's al Ghul. He is also grooming his grandson, Damien, who will one day take charge of this legacy as successor. Ra's son appreciates his father being so involved in the upbringing of Damien. Talia al Ghul, Damien's mother, agrees with her brother. Around the same time, the brother is shot in the back and he falls face forward, dying. There's been a breach at the headquarters. Ra's orders Talia and Damien to take cover while he stands his ground and fights the traitor assassins. Bombs detonate as the headquarters is ambushed by warplanes that start shooting at the training assassins, destroying the headquarters. Seeing the wreckage of her father's empire, Talia joins the fight and knocks down a warplane, piercing the pilot's throat with her archery skills. She makes her way to the Arrow machine gun tower while eliminating as many intruders as she can. Damien manages to eliminate a few assassins with a gun initially aimed at him. Ra's makes his way through the hallway, eliminating the traitors with his mighty sword and amazing skills. He's cornered into a room surrounded by gun-clad men. He fights bravely until a voice fills the room ordering the masses to stop firing at him, claiming Ra's as his prey. Ra's turns around to see Slade, the Deathstroke, once a prized assassin destined to succeed Ra's, but was let go from the League of Assassins due to his arrogance. Deathstroke challenges Ra's to a sword duel and berates him for making a grave mistake by letting his right hand go. Ra's responds that his actions caused his dismissal. As they fight, the assassins, upon a signal, vacate the room when they have Ra's where they intended, and planes detonate bombs at the HQ. Deathstroke manages to run away, but Ra's realizes it too late. He makes a run for it but is singed by the flames and barely manages to escape, toppling over from the balcony to the training area. Deathstroke makes his way to a barely moving, burnt Ra's, taunting how his Lazarus pits will not be able to revive him this time around. As he gets ready to stab him, Damien tackles Deathstroke and they break into a sword fight. Deathstroke recognizes him as Talia's offspring with his skilled fighting. Fueled by revenge, Damien manages to hurt Deathstroke, but the latter escapes with his smoke bombs, reeled up in the evacuation plane by Ubu, whom Damien instantly recognizes. To find his grandfather, Damien makes his way to the Lazarus Pit, only to find Raz's lifeless corpse near the brink of the Lazarus Pit. Despite his insistence to save Raz, Talia informs him that the Lazarus Pit, though intended to heal and revive, will not be of any help as Raz's body was damaged beyond repair. She tells him to get his act together as they needed to leave for Gotham City to meet Damien's father. The scene pans down to a night in Gotham City where Batman confronts Croc, who is stealing drugs from biotech companies. Batman tries to fight him, but is unable to match Croc's steroid-fueled strength and is about to be bitten by him when Talia walks in and subdues Croc, saving Batman. They go to her ship, where Talia offers a drink to Batman. He refuses, remembering how she intoxicated him last time and had her way with him. As she tries to woo him, Batman asks her to get to the point. She informs him of her father's passing, much to Batman's surprise. She reveals to him that Slade, Deathstroke, once the successor to Raz, but ousted due to the birth of Damien, attempted to take over Raz's empire, and now wants to eliminate Talia as well as Damien, her and Batman's son. Batman refuses to believe her. However, she leaves Damien in the custody of Batman for safety and heads back to the League of Assassins headquarters. Batman informs Alfred to expect company. Batman and Damien reach the Batcave where Alfred the butler is waiting for them. While Damien explores the Batcave, Batman entrusts Alfred with the task of getting Damien settled in his new abode till his mother comes back for him, unsure how long it will be. Once in his room, Damien orders Alfred around with ridiculous tasks. As he brings tea for his master Bruce, Alfred says Damien is the carbon copy of Bruce himself from his childhood. He finds Batman reviewing an old video of Raz being revived in Lazarus Pit. Batman is still unable to believe that having cheated death so many times, Raz has finally fallen prey to it. In the next scene, Dr. Kirk Langstrom is summoned by his daughter, Rebecca, for dinner. When he exits his lab for joining his family upstairs, he is knocked out by someone who attacks him in the hallway. When he gains consciousness, he realizes that he along with his family are tied, being held captive by Deathstroke and his men. Dr. Kirk exclaims he has done nothing wrong and he is working according to the prior agreement. Deathstroke orders the scientist to work on his terms now as he is residing over. He takes his family hostage somewhere, ensuring Kirk's loyalty. Deathstroke forces Dr. Kirk into speeding up his experiment or risking the safety of his family. While in captivity, Francine, Dr. Kirk's wife, comforts Rebecca as she wallows in the turn of events, holding her father responsible. During breakfast, Batman and Alfred watch Damien, who has risen early to practice his sword fighting skills in the Wayne Gardens. Batman is colored impressed by Damien's talent. As Batman goes to work, he is alerted by Alfred that Damien is missing, only to find Damien seated in Batman's office chair. Batman dismisses his staff and inquires Damien about how he got inside. After mocking the office security, Damien informs Batman of Deathstroke's contact living in Gotham City. He expresses to get to Deathstroke via the deputy and eliminating him, avenging his grandfather. Batman disapproves of his aggression, saying eliminating is unethical and something a criminal would do. On finding that Damian hacked into the Batcave computer, Batman sends Damian back home with Alfred, telling Damian to stay put, leave his computer alone, and not leave the house at any costs. To avenge her father's passing, Talia and a team of assassins reach the base of Deathstroke, ready to take him on. They underestimate the security measures and are caught. The assassins are eliminated and Talia is taken captive and subjected to torture. Meanwhile, Commissioner Gordon and Batman head to Arkham Asylum, making their way past all the wrongdoers of Gotham City, to investigate Croc about the location of Dr. Kirk. They have a hunch that the drugs that Croc was stealing were being supplied to Dr. Kirk. Croc refuses to help initially, but Batman tortures and convinces him that the debilitated Croc was in dire need of a fix that only Batman could provide. Batman finds himself in a basement, looking for evidence when he happens upon a League of Assassins star. He also encounters mutant man-bats, managing to escape while a drone bombs the locality, setting the surroundings on fire. Batman manages to put it out. Again, he finds another League of Assassins star, confirming the connection of Ra's to the man-bats he had just encountered. Next, Ubu enters his room with two harlots on his arms when he realizes something is off. He draws his gun and asks the intruder to come out. Damian pounces on him from nowhere. They break into a long fight. They take their fight to the road outside, and as Damian is about to deliver a fatal blow to the injured Ubu, Batman's friend and ally Dick stops him, informing Batman about the whole ordeal and bringing him to Batman. A very angry Batman reprimands Damian for his reckless behavior upon learning from Commissioner Gordon that Ubu is hospitalized and struggling to breathe, unable to relay any information. Damian is insistent that his way is easy, with no remorse. Batman aims the League of Assassins star at Damian, who catches it impulsively. Batman is impressed by Damian's reflexes, so he makes up his mind to let him tag along, donning the cloak of Robin. He orders Damian to stay close and they depart to meet Commissioner Gordon, who tells them that they found an address on a note found at Ubu's place. Following that, Batman along with Damian arrives at an abandoned arena to find Dr. Kirk. Batman reminds Damian to follow his lead and avoid the surveillance cameras. They locate a much flustered Dr. Langstrom and ask him about Deathstroke's whereabouts. Dr. Kirk is worried about his family and refuses to leave, fixated on finishing his work. Damian gets agitated and tackles Dr. Kirk, alerting the assassins on guard, who ambushes Batman and Damian. The duo retreats while Dr. Kirk runs away. While escaping, a huge swarm of man-bats attacks Batman and Damian, but they manage to get rid of them, thanks to Batman's gadgets. Damian spots Dr. Kirk and they bring him to the Batcave. Dr. Kirk reveals that he was working with Ra's on genetically modifying humans with animal DNA to make an invincible mutant combat army. Now that he is answerable to Deathstroke, he needs to finish the project as soon as possible. Batman assures Dr. Kirk that he will save his family, and Dr. Kirk and Dick work together on creating the antidote to the man-bat mutation. In the prison, Deathstroke inquires about the detained Talia of the Dark Knight and how to find him and the boy. Talia retorts that they will find Deathstroke themselves. With Damian's assistance in identifying the location, Batman rescues Dr. Kirk's family. The daughter, Rebecca, hugs Damian and gives him a device with a message from Deathstroke, urging him to hide it from Batman. It shows a ransom video from Deathstroke to Damian to come to save his captured mother, leaving the father behind. However, Batman finds out on his own as he remembers Mrs. Kirk mentioning there was another female prisoner. He locates Talia with the help of his friend Dick. Damian distracts Batman by ordering room service and makes his way to the location the Deathstroke mentioned. It's an oil rig near the Scottish coast, belonging to his late grandfather. He subdues the guards and makes his way inside, following Deathstroke into the underground facility. Damian comes across Deathstroke holding a wounded Talia near a Lazarus pit in the underwater base. The Deathstroke intends to sell the Lazarus pit to the highest bid for profit. He lets out his smoldered hatred for Damian, calling him unworthy of Raz's legacy. He calls him full of revenge and gloats that he was successfully able to lure the bloodthirsty Damian to his eternal sleep. Deathstroke shoots at Damian while Talia screams for him to run as she swerves herself in the path of the bullet and saves her son. Being fatally injured, Damian makes a run for it as Deathstroke opens fire at him, awakening the swarm of man-bats in the cave, who respond to Deathstroke's command. Suddenly, Batman arrives and knocks the gun out of Deathstroke's hand. Deathstroke orders the man-bats to eliminate Batman and Damian, but Batman distracts them with sonar devices placed at various spots in the cave, disorienting the man-bats. In an effort to get away from the sonar signals, the man-bats scurry into finding refuge. They shatter the glass elevator tunnel and the facility starts flooding. Batman heals Talia in the Lazarus pit as Damian follows Deathstroke to eliminate him. They engage in a gruesome battle. As they're fighting, Deathstroke claims he was the perfect successor to take charge of the Assassin League. He also says he would have married Talia if she had not gotten romantically involved with Batman. Damian defeats Deathstroke. Foreseeing his doom, Deathstroke begs Damian to finish him off, prompting him that this is what he was trained for by his grandfather. However, Damian refuses to eliminate him, claiming he is his father's son and that is not something his father would do. As the oil rig is completely destroyed, Dr. Langstrom and Dick arrive, curing the Man-Bats with hundreds of antidote vials. Batman, Talia, and Damian make their way to safety, leaving Deathstroke behind. In the end, Talia expresses her gratitude to Batman for saving her, and their son and wishes to create a stronger League of Assassins with Batman and Damian at her side. Batman suggests that Damian should stay with him in Gotham City. Talia is hesitant but eventually agrees when she senses that despite wanting to stay with Batman, Damian is trying to please her. Before she leaves for her headquarters, Talia says she will come back for Damian someday. With that, Batman and Damian return home.